We are Mike and Jeannie, and we restore old houses. In 2021, we moved to South Carolina and bought a 120-year-old Victorian house. Follow along as we put the polish back on this Victorian masterpiece.
Today's program is sponsored by the generous support of our patrons. Your support helps to further our historic preservation efforts. For more information, visit patreon.com/1834 Restoration House. Welcome back to 1834 Restoration House. If you're new here, welcome. We're very happy to see you. I'm Jeannie, this is Mike, and we are restoring a 120-year-old Victorian house. What are we doing today?
Well, we've been working on this project for the last few weeks. We discovered this ancient Victorian drainage system here and an old brick planter that was pretty much destroyed. And so we're in the process of trying to rebuild that back to the way it was, and maybe a little bit better than it was. And we've been laying tons of bricks, but we ran out of bricks, and we went back to our brickyard to order some more, thinking it would be there in a day or two. Come to find out they're out of stock, and they've got to order in from another state. So we're waiting for those bricks to come, and I thought we would just take this downtime and do a little bit of tidying up and clean up and fix up of a few other things that have been bugging us. We pulled a lot of bushes out and a lot of roots to do this work here, so we basically just tossed everything aside and gave it some time to die. Now it's going to the trash. Look at that thing.
That works pretty good for getting the soil out of it, too.
Yeah, it gets lighter. The more I kick it, the lighter it gets.
I like that.
Yeah, let's just take off the top there. We don't mind filling up the trash can because garbage is a day or two away from us.
And we really have more than 2 bags in there anyway.
Yeah.
2 little bags, that is.
Right. Wasps, hornets, and other flying, stinging insects are a big problem in the summer months, and particularly down here in the south where it's really hot. They like to build nests, and they hatch their young, and pretty soon one becomes hundreds, and we don't want that. So we always have our wasp killer on hand. This is the kind that shoots 27 feet. And we've been keeping a good eye on these things, and we really don't have much going on this year because I've been knocking them down. So I'm going to shake this up really good and give it a shot. See that? So it turns out that there were 2 live ones on that nest, and I got them both, and they'll be dead within a minute. Several months ago, we filmed a video series about replacement of our electrical system. We had the utility come and trench in a new underground electrical service and get rid of the overhead wire. And then we put in a brand new meter box and a brand new electrical box. We do have that video series, and if you're interested in seeing it, just go back and look for the electrical stuff, which is a good time to bring up the fact that we have a lot of videos. We have posted well over 80 videos now, and if you haven't seen some of our older stuff, you might want to go back and watch it. There's some good stuff in there. But the reason I'm bringing this up is because insects will sometimes find their way in these things, and you just want to pop them open once in a while and make sure that there's nothing going on. There are some things back here that have lingered from years past that really need to go. The clothesline, the radial thing, was falling apart, and it was in the way of mowing, so we took it out. This thing here, we have no idea what it's for. Whoop. Oh.
Careful, please.
It needs to go too. It's falling apart and it needs to come out.
We also took that dog kennel out too.
Yeah, we took out the dog kennel. There was a big dog run over there that was fenced in, and
Yeah.
we have some video on that last summer after we moved in. That went away. So very slowly we're getting the yard kind of cleaned up and to a point where we can use it. But this thing is always in the way of mowing, and it's going to fall over anyway. So let's take this thing out today.
Oh, one more thing.
What's that?
The bird's nest. There is nothing in there.
It's empty? Okay.
It's empty. We're good to go.
All right.
We could put some in like the crepe myrtles, maybe.
Maybe. Hey, speaking of crepe myrtles, these things are supposed to be blooming. We've got crepe myrtles across the street blooming. We've got some in the front yard blooming. But for some reason, these 4 crepe myrtles right here are not blooming at all. And I don't know if it's
why.
Yeah, squirrel damage, or
Doesn't look like any squirrel damage.
is it something hereditary where they only bloom every couple of years? I just don't know. I just don't know. Maybe some of you crepe myrtle experts can explain this, but all 4 of these crepe myrtles last year were just crazy blooming. This
It
year,
was beautiful.
there's nothing.
There we go.
Yeah. Okay, it should be clear.
Nope, that's another one.
There's another one.
There we go.
All right, well, that box is done. Remember that dog run we took out where all the 4 or 5 layers of cloth were intertied and wired together, and it was all random?
Yes, it was awful. It took us forever to get that stuff out.
That was a nightmare. I'm not sure how well this is going to come out either.
Those might have to be cut like the other ones were
Yeah.
in the dog run.
Okay. Well, I was able to pop the staple out by doing that.
Okay.
All right. Okay, that's working pretty well. By levering on the wire, I'm able to pull the staples out. I'm going to all this trouble so that the metal can be separated from the wood. This thing is going to be a lot tougher to take out than I initially thought. So I was hoping to break it down into its individual components, but there's just way too many tie wires on this thing. So what I want to do is first yank the whole thing out of the ground. So we'll start by putting a choke set on here. And we need to move the tractor back a little bit.
Well, you
Oh.
got it part way.
Yeah, we had some movement there.
I just can't get it tight enough again.
Yeah, we'll have to retie it.
Well, I kept trying to turn it this way so it'd make it tighter and drop it down some.
Well, I think we got the right idea. We did manage to get, I don't know, 4 inches up. So let's see if we can retie that and get it back.
Okay.
It's too bad this metal pipe is here because that's making it more difficult to do the job. Okay, so I'm going to I got a good tight choke there, so let's see if I can't get this around here. I'm holding a good deal of tension on this as I'm pulling it through, just to keep it tight. Go ahead and drop it down some more. This feels like it wants to fall. Okay, good. Take it. All right, send it down. Yeah. Is it out?
Most of the way, yes.
Okay, let's lay it down.
Yes.
My direction.
My glove got stuck.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep.
Nope.
I can't pull, I can't lift.
Okay, go ahead and leave. Got space. Come over here. There you go. It's right there. Go ahead and drop it. That is a long pole.
Yeah, what do we have? Almost 3 feet? 3 feet of pipe stuck in the ground.
Yeah. Want to leave it tied up, you can, and then we can take it up front, closer to the house. Then we can use some tools and cut it down a bit.
Do you think it'll tow?
Little drag. I don't know how well.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, just to save time, I've got my cutoff wheel here on my grinder, and I'm going to try to cut this thing apart into smaller pieces so we can throw them out at the street.
We got the metal posts separated, we got the wood separated, and we got the fencing separated. Now we're gonna put it into the tractor and take it up to the front, drop it off. We'll be done with that section.
It's a delightfully cool, cloudy morning, and the wind is blowing. This is every man's dream. At least this man's dream. We took that whole fence thing out yesterday, and you can see the aftermath of it. There's a big hump right here where it hasn't been mowed and soil's kind of collected up over the years. So what we're going to do is we'll bring the tractor up here later on. We'll see if we can't regrade this just a little bit and at least cut down what we have here that's been growing. We got trees. I think that's an oak tree. This is a, I don't know, it kind of looks like a maple, but not like any maple I've ever seen. So this old clay pipe was sitting here in the soil, and the open end was right here. We thought, great, we've got a Victorian drainage system that comes all the way across the yard and empties out here, but as you can see, that's not the case. Jeannie kicked this out yesterday just to see what would happen, and it turned out to be just a small length of pipe. So we know that we don't have a Victorian drainage system out here. Kind of deepens the mystery as to what we do have up there, though. Where do those pipes go? We've had a few commenters on our channel suggest that maybe there's a cistern. You know, the fact that this goes nowhere and we have pipes that go into the house and disappear, there may very well be a cistern up there somewhere. And so we'll dig into that mystery at some point in the future. I just came in with the tractor, and with the belly mower all the way up, I skimmed across that and tried to cut everything down without being so low that I would scalp it. We were going to catch it on camera, but I came around the wrong side and started hurling stuff towards the camera, and so Jeannie shut down and took off running. So anyway, what I'm going to do now is maneuver the tractor back around here, and then I'm going to put the bucket down, and then I'll skim the ground and see if I can't just shave off that high spot, and then we'll just redistribute it back down and try to make it flat. At least that's the theory. We'll see how it works out. I think that worked out pretty well. So I think the next step is just to get in here with a shovel and just kind of just spread it back out, maybe a rake. But once this grows back, I'll be able to mow that with no problem. Being in a historic site such as this, we always want to see the really good stuff. So imagine our dismay when we found vinyl siding. We picked all of the root balls out of here and then put it in the tractor bucket. And now Jeannie is just trying to take some of that soil and just distribute it and just try to regrade it by hand. And so while she's doing that, I'm going to take some of this and just start sprinkling it around like that, because we want it to fill back in.
There's already too much over here.
Is there? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Stepping in it.
All right, we're regraded now, and we spread the clover back out on top of the regrade. So I'm going to take what's left in here, dump it over on that bare spot, and then I'm going to take the tractor and just run over it a couple of times and compress the soil back down. All right, that looks pretty good. We took the soil and compressed it back down with the clover on it. Hopefully the clover will fill in and thrive and be okay. If not, the stuff around it will eventually fill in, so it'll be all right. But the great thing is now I can take that tractor and I can mow right through here without any obstacle. I called the brickyard a while ago and talked to them, and they said the bricks came in yesterday. They said they would bring them out to us either tomorrow or Thursday, and it's probably going to be Thursday, knowing the way things work around here. So, next thing I want to do is find out what's going on here. I've got a big metal pipe, and I've got a plastic pipe, and I suspect that probably there was a water line that came out here at some point in the past. And there's also another one right over there. That one goes nowhere, and it's kind of close to the property line, so the neighbor and I have been talking about that, trying to figure out what it is, where it goes. I'm going to do an exploratory dig on that one too. But first, let's get this brick out of here. And I just want to dig a little bit, see if I can't figure out what's going on. Oh. Hit something there. Oh, it's a stone. What's this? Guaranteed. Oh, it's a cap from a milk jug. So you guys are always saying we need to go digging for artifacts and treasures. The only thing we've ever found is plastic siding, pieces of glass, a milk container lid, stuff like that. We've not found anything interesting that's historical yet, but if we do, you'll be the first to know. So if that's a water line, chances are it's going to head that way. We had speculation about whether this was just a pipe jammed in the ground or whether there actually was water service out here. There is this one back over here that has a faucet on it, and we still don't know where that goes. But one thing we did is we took a stick and I shoved it down the pipe here just to see how far down it would go, and I hit bottom right about there, so we knew we were close. The soil, maybe I should call it dirt, down there is so hard. It's like concrete. It's a kind of a clay sand mixture, and that's why this country around here was so popular for making bricks, because that kind of soil is perfect. You just get it wet, pack it together, fire it in a kiln, and you've got bricks. We finally found the bottom of the pipe, and as you can see, there's an elbow down there, and that elbow turns and it heads right straight toward the house. We don't know if that's an old circuit that was cut off and abandoned, or is it still connected to the house's plumbing system. We just don't know. But we don't have the tools to pursue this today. So what we're going to do is fill the hole back in, and somewhere down the road, we need to run a conduit out here for electrical. I'll talk about that later. And we also need to possibly run a trench out here for water drainage. We're just not sure yet, and we'll also deal with that one later. So for now, we'll go ahead and fill it back in, and this will be a project for another day.
One of our viewers, April Rain, reached out to us to let us know that she and her twin sister are having a birthday tomorrow.
Now, she didn't tell us what birthday that was, so we're just going to call that 29.
Again.
So happy 29th birthday again, April and your twin sister.
Yes, happy birthday.
Do you remember how messy it was back here when we first moved in? We had dog runs, we had dead trees, we had that fence thing, all kinds of problems. But we've been slowly cleaning all that out, one at a time, taking stuff out of here that doesn't need to be here. And I think it looks better now than it ever has.
I love it. It looks clean cut, well cared for.
Yep. We still have a lot of work to do back there yet, but we'll just keep knocking it out. Keep working on it, chipping away at it.
But we've been here almost a year now, and we've accomplished quite a bit. I'm really liking that.
We really have. Maybe we should do a review of everything we've done.
I think we should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put up some little pictures of everything that we've really changed and see what we can do about that. I think that would be a fantastic idea.
Yes.
What do you think? Do you guys want to see a video like that? Our 1 year anniversary here?
Quick recap of everything we've done.
Yeah. Well, thank you for watching 1834 Restoration House. In the next video, we should have more bricks, and we'll get back to that.